Hi guys, welcome. Scatlink here, and we're off for a bonus episode of Shadow Man's Second Coming. We're going to be covering some removed/cut content, as well as beta content, and most of that really stems from a beta build that even then you need cheat codes to access, as far as I'm aware of, through my research after beating the game, because it kind of snuck up on us. I wasn't expecting it. And that's the reason why, because, I mean, it wasn't intended. There is a channel at the corner of the screen, as well as in the link in the description below. Carrot250, he would be the person who dissects Shadow Man's Second Coming, as well as a little bit of the first one, because we've got a few things to talk about. But first of all, we haven't 100%ed this game, so why don't we go do that first? So you may have seen the little small montage that we just had of just grabbing the, well, 2 of the 4 remaining Cadeaux, because if I pause right now, you can see I have 8 out of 10 required for our last health upgrade. But we also got some weapons. So, because I was actually recording it and, you know, I had my microphone on, I wanted to capture my, reactions on actually getting them, because I didn't realise I was missing weapons until I checked the manual. So, let's go through that. Okay, so this recording is basically just trying to find the last of the 4 Cadeaux before I get into anything else. Maybe any additional weapons that I might have missed. Because according to the manual, I'm missing one. So, I want to start at Louisiana. So, I know I got the one at the start of Dead Side in the wall, because I made sure I had to grab that one again when I had to redo it. So, I already know I got that one. Basically, I just got to check for all 100. Ah! Okay, so that's not a Cadeaux. What is that? I've started my journey for Cadeaux for a planned montage for the start of this video that I'm making, and I completely forgot that this was here. Not only that, that's not even a Cadeaux. It looks like I could have got that way earlier. What the heck? Okay, wow, I'm a bloody moron. Okay, so I need to figure out how to get up around there, so let's follow this around. Oh my god, it's that simple. Oh no, I didn't have the ability to get up there. I never thought to come back. Oh, okay, that makes a whole lot more sense. There we go. Let me up there now. And there's also a Cadeaux down there. Okay, so it wasn't what I thought was on the ledge, but it did lead to one. I'm 3 away now, but I also got a weapon. That's a hell of a way to start off. What's this?
Okay.
Oh, it's like a phoenix of some sort. The Guerre? The Guerre? Help. When equipped, Red Mist of War consumes Shadow Man's attack power if the fight is increased. I could have had double attack power this entire time? With the weaker weapons? I struggled throughout the entire game and I didn't have this. Wow. I mean, clearly you don't need it. But that sure would have been useful. I'm not going to forget about this anymore. Completely forgot that there was an extra little bit of road. And even then, you needed the Inferno from Russia when you enter in order to get this. Well, I feel silly. Let's pop that on here. Oh, shit. It takes both slots. Not what I was expecting. Wait, does this mean I can't use it alongside weapons? Oh, okay, it only increases my punching power. Oh yeah, look at my gauntlets, they're a lot redder now, because if I take them off and swing... Oh no, wait, no, that's just the effect. But listen to... carefully, I'll shut up. Okay, so it makes hand-to-hand combat more stronger before you get the gauntlets. But you pop into Gehenna, get the gauntlets, then you go to Russia in order to get Inferno. So maybe it stacks with the gauntlets? Maybe once you get the gauntlets you come back, and then you power up your punches even more, making the gauntlets viable? The gauntlets might as well just be that strong to begin with, if that's the case. I thought I could have stacked this with like a handheld weapon or something. That's probably not as useful as I think it was going to be. And you hear me? I wonder. Oh god, enemies everywhere. Not what I was expecting. But if I were to do this... Aha! Oh, it's sealed up, but there's a Cadeaux in here. It actually makes you remember what you did in the first game, because there was a crypt down here, but look at what's happened. It's sealed up, but there was a Cadeaux in here. Right next to Nettie's church. This is insane. I am on the ball, and I should have done that way earlier. No, I always thought that there was something special here. Like, why would you have a circle of candles for no reason?
Great.
I'm about to transform into Shadow Man so I can try something. I would assume something that would affect... Wait. It's nightfall. And I haven't transformed. It's past 6. Game? It's past 6 PM in-game time. It hasn't transformed me. It's going to be almost 8 o'clock. 8 PM. It's nighttime. What the heck? The game didn't transform me. It says switch to Mike. But I am Mike. I'm supposed to be Shadow Man. What the heck? It's not nighttime. That's weird. I've bumped into another glitch in the graveyard of Louisiana. That's amazing because, like, I had a... Okay, that looked a bit weird. Yeah, I had a glitch here last time and it froze my game, and now it's actually nighttime and I'm not Shadow Man. Like, what the hell? This is strange. Whoa! The game's breaking on me. Can you transform me into Shadow Man, please? So, are we just not playing... It's Michael Loire's second coming at this point. What the hell? Like, the visibility of the actual day changed, but... Okay, what the hell? I just used the pocket watch to, like, change it back to day. I exited the menu, went back to night again. And I'm still Mike. It's past 6 again. I'm not transforming into the Shadow Man. What the hell? It's not working. This is interesting. I'm going to go to Gehenna and then come back out. There we go. Now I'm actually the Shadow Man. What the heck happened there? It's like I just somehow lost the Mask of Shadows. So strange.
Looks like it'll soon be daybreak.
Right, so what I wanted to try out was this. Okay, I didn't do what I thought, but I broke every pot, so whatever. Because I don't know what to do with those candles. I thought that would, like, maybe put them all out or something. I don't even know if that's a thing I'm supposed to do. And apparently, it's now 1 hour away from daybreak anyway, so I'm guessing the time got broken or something? I have no idea. Because I didn't leave it 1 hour before daybreak again. That's a bit strange. And I haven't transformed again when it's hit morning. Okay, the time system has broke itself, and that is very interesting to me. I will admit that I am looking at a walkthrough on Neo Seeker, but that's only just to try and narrow down what I'm missing. And I found 2 in Louisiana, and apparently there's 2 in the vault, in those dead ends that I saw on the map. But that's beta stuff I want to talk about, and I was going to check that out after this montage, so I'll probably get those then. For now, though, apparently there's an area around here that I've missed, and yes, I know I'm missing a weapon, because not just looking it up for its location, but it is in the manual. It tells me what it is, but it's not where I get it from. Oh, hang on. I said that there was no way I could reach certain huts around here, so that must mean it's below here, perhaps? I could see. Let me jump toward the wall here. Aha! Stay! Stay, you fool! Okay, hang on. Let's figure this out. These two huts I can't reach. So they must be in these two. I never actually tried getting into these. So they could be in here. Yeah, I need to jump from above. Also, I always thought that was going to do something. And I also realised the barge ain't here because it's been left in the Isle of the Dead. I'm guessing I need to ride it back. God, I just see that and I'm thinking the Majora's Mask moon. And apparently that's what's holding this bridge up. Which I don't know how to feel about. That's what... Okay! Didn't realise that zooming in and out I would have just plummeted. I was trying to figure out where I had to land. That was beyond rude. Right, so I want to be over there. So I go over this way. Aim to that one there. If I just commit to the jump. Ah! There we go! Did I already get these? I can't remember. Can I even make that? I can. There's nothing even in these! It's over there, not over here. Ah, it's right there. I can actually see it without needing to go into first person. So if I just commit to the jump. Oh, that's easy. Oh, there we go. Oh god, there's actually an enemy I missed. Hang on a minute, buddy. Apparently all the enemies that I've killed have stayed dead as well, which is very nice. Right, I'll grab that in a moment.
Yeah.
The Exploser looks like the Calabash. A little bit different. An explosive voodoo charm. When the charm is used, its voodoo witch center explodes, releasing arcs of flame that are homing on the enemy. Yeah, it did say something about pillars of flames in the manual. So, if I were to replace the... trying to remember the buttons here. And just slap it on the ground. Oh! Okay, it's similar... It's more similar to the marteau, the jawbone drumstick. I had to look at the manual of Shadow Man 1 in order to remember that. I'm thankful that I still have the PlayStation version, because obviously the remastered hasn't come out. I hope that they include a manual for that. But yeah, it's kind of like the marteau, where, you know, you slap it on a drum or you just swing it and it explodes and homes in. It's kind of more like what that does. It uses half a voodoo slot. Okay, I think we might be fine then to actually finish up this montage. It was just Louisiana for the most part, and then this, which I forgot about the Mist of War item on the ledge. I thought that was a Cadeaux, but it did lead to a Cadeaux. And then I had an intuition to blow up the thing next to the church, which originally led to a crypt, but has caved itself in this game, but still gave me a Cadeaux. And apparently the last two Cadeaux were in the two areas, which I'm about to talk about, in the pit, in Gehenna. So this was the only thing I was missing. But while we're actually in the weapons, I want to back out and then go to my firearms, because there is some beta content here that if you check from Carrot 250's channel, the dead side versions of the guns are supposed to be shadow gun variants, which is why they change appearance. And that's why you can also use them in dead side, I'm guessing, because Shadow Man's a lot more in tune with the Mask Shadows, because he's been in dead side too long in between games. All these weapons would have, like, well, won't use ammo when you're Shadow Man, but they would use, well, pretty much the same thing as the Shadow Gun, where it shoots what I think they're called Shadow Wraiths? Okay, fair enough. Basically, your voodoo pistols. You have your Shadow Gun, which is standard, but all the others could be charged in some manner to do, like, a spread shot, or they would do, like, a burst shot of some sort. But you can see why they may have changed it just to keep the normal ammo, because that seems quite overpowered. The only reason why they take a bone-like structure is because they're extensions of Shadow Man himself, and therefore Mike can actually use them in Deadside without needing to use the Book of Shadows, aka a cheat code. So, again, it doesn't explain why we can't shoot in first person unless we only use the assassin rifle. Also, they had different names as well. There were also some different voodoo weapons as well, but none of them were actually usable or had a model. So I thought I'd make mention of that, but you can check the video from Carrot 250. Although there were two scenes that I was able to scrounge up, which we'll be talking about in a bit. But for now, since we are in Gehenna, you know, we beat 4 bosses. We fought 4 Grigori as well as Asmodeus themselves. But there was a thing that Thomas Deacon said at the very start of the game.
Mortith and his friends, there are 7 Grigori in all, have been waiting for the star, waiting for that signal, waiting for the day when they can release their leader, Asmodeus, from the pit. We're talking the whole book of Revelation here, chapter and verse, with the 7 Grigori leading the charge to the end of the world.
There were 7 Grigori and Asmodeus. I think that you can either interpret this in 2 ways. He was trying to explain quickly and meant to include Asmodeus as part of the 7, not Asmodeus and the 7, but it can be interpreted both ways, and I'll get into that in a moment. But for now, as far as we know, we only fought 5 Grigori. That was the 4 from the areas that we went to: Morteth, Baba Yoga, Darucha, I think his name is, the undead zombie dude that we blew his head off without even knowing in Island, and then Ugo, for the super duppy in Deadside, and then Asmodeus. But that's only 5. We're missing Sammael, which we saw at the beginning of the game, but there's also another one that wasn't mentioned at all. But remember, we only went to 4 locations: Louisiana, Russia, Ireland, and the Isle of the Dead within Deadside. So what are the other 2 doors? If we actually check the map, nothing seems out of place. I mean, we're in the pit, that's fair enough, and we've got, you know, Vault 1, Vault 2, Vault 3, Vault 4. Wait, hang on. Vaults 5 and 6 aren't labelled. And we don't get teleports for them, which, to be fair, I still think is kind of silly, considering that all of these locations, I mean, like, we have 5 warps right here, then literally up here we have, like, a 6th and then 7th warp. It's like, all the warps are literally on top of each other. There's no need for that many warps in this one area. You could have had the 1 warp and that would have been it. But I'm guessing instead of having the sigil changes in the arena, maybe all your warps would be in the pit, like a level select sort of thing. But notice that these 2 Recreant vaults aren't labelled or symbolised. They are here on the map, though, and we can access them. So let's get out of the map here. I was pressing exit, thank you, game. And let's start with this one. And if you notice, the doors are shut. But that's because I haven't approached them to open them yet, because we had to do that with all the rest of them. So, what's beyond? We can still go through. It's not blocked off. Doesn't seem like it. The vault's already open. Interesting that. Break some of these pots. There are pots here. And we're still missing 2 Cadeaux. And there's 2 areas that we haven't actually been to yet, this being one of them. Well, guess what? It may be open, but it is sealed off with a cave-in on the other side. Oh. Oh boy! Well, they're all gone. That worked. Just slammed the ground. Yes, the Cadeaux is literally waiting at the threshold where we would go into the area that it would lead to. The other side of the Recreant Vaults, or the Sepulchres. But we can't because it's sealed off. So, you remember Sammael at the start of the game that Thomas Deacon and his mate Gabe were fighting against to recover the Codex, and the place kind of like caved in on itself as he was escaping with the Codex, crushing Sammael. My theory is that this Recreant Vault is destroyed because it would have led to that very location that Sammael was at, and because it caved in, it's blocked up the other side of the vault. So, we don't even need to go over there to fight Sammael because he's already been destroyed by the Deacon, but we don't need to go get any sigils either because I'm guessing they were lost in the collapse of the building. That's my theory. So let's go to the next one. The heck is that? Oh, hello. More enemies. Been ambushed. Blow them all up. There we go. Not a problem. That is such a useful weapon. You know, considering that we could have went to Deadside as early as we did, we probably got that weapon as early as we did. Unless we could beeline to the chalice. That's a bit of a weird looking thing. Is that the other Grigori? Can't shoot him. We are targeting him, though. Wait, if he's a Grigori, we want to swap with this. Ah! That worked! Our shadow gun weren't working, but that was working. I'm guessing whoever did that to the Grigori left him out to dry. Doesn't explain where his sigils were, though. Yeah, these bullets don't fly very far at all unless you charge. But they fly quite fast with the Malagium, or whatever it's called. Well, this is caved in as well.
Good.
Well, we got all the Cadeaux. We didn't get besieged then. And we just had a corpse here. I don't think his name was ever dropped at all, but there are, once again, 2 theories to this Recreant Vault and where it would lead. Apparently, in the beta, or what was originally planned, the second Grigori that was cut from the final game was called Djinn, and you would fight him in a Fortress of Alamut, and if that's how you pronounce it. And you would fight him there, and that would basically be your next set of sigils. But I don't know when you're actually supposed to go and fight him, and considering that it was cut from the finished game, or rushed to finished game, I mean, it's still coherent enough, but it kind of leaves a bit of a gap, like, oh, there's 7 Grigori, but you only fight the 5. So, what happened to Djinn? Who let him up to dry here? If that is even Djinn. My theory is that either during the events of this game, even though we could come into here at any point, maybe you would go clockwise and this would be the last one you go into, so it would make a little bit more sense story-wise. But in the lore, as well as story, I'd like to headcanon that Deacon was the one who sorted out the fortress with Djinn, while Michael was going around and defeating the other Grigori, which is why he just randomly shows up right before you fight Asmodeus, because what else would he have been doing after he said that he would stay in touch? He just disappears for the entire game, and you don't hear from him until the very end. But that's not my only theory. Now, I was theorizing this in the back of my head, but I never actually mentioned it. But there could be another Grigori that had a kind of similar dynamic to all the other Grigori that we've faced. Grigori Sephiroths, at least. You know, they have some sort of humanoid form, and then they transform into some sort of demon, or in Island's case, his head becomes a little red gargoyle. But regardless, they all have some sort of transformation, as long as you're not Ugo, who is just a super duppy, who already some sort of demon-like monster. It could be Legion. And after doing my research and watching certain removed cutscenes at the very end of Shadow Man Second Coming, it's actually suggested that he was a Grigori. And I'll be showing those off at the end of the video in full. The final boss was not difficulty tested. It wasn't play tested, and that's because the game was rushed. It was originally intended for you to lose the battle, just like against Legion in the first game, and get a bad ending. You weren't able to use the bear to get out, or to respawn infinitely. This is why we were able to just continuously chucking ourselves at Asmodeus until he won, because they gave us the bear, because as they couldn't finish off any difficulty balancing, they just gave us a crutch and allow us to keep respawning in, and by using the bear all the time. But in the beta, it was intended that you could lose. And one final thing that I want to make mention as well when it comes to the Codex itself, if I bring it up right now, you can see that, you know, we've got about 5 lines worth of sigils. I've never seen the trailers for this game, but in early trailers, it actually shows that the Codex has a lot more lines of sigils. I think it would have went up to 50. There might have been one more line of 12 to do. I think there was another line of 3 to do as well. So it would have gone over 50. It might have been 52. Which would account for the other 2 Grigori that we didn't face. The 2 that were mentioned being Sammael and Djinn. But of course, things had to be cut for the game to finish the deadline. But in this case, they actually removed bosses, because in Shadow Man 1, the original builds, at least before the remaster came along, where it added the cut content and put 2 of the killers back into their locations like they were supposed to, 2 of Legion's 5. Legion's 5 still existed, and that was with Legion. In this game, it's 5 Grigori, including Asmodeus, so that's 5, not 6 or 7. And once again, if Night Dive Studios actually take it upon themselves to reverse engineer and remaster Shadow Man Second Coming, we can actually enjoy the full intended game. I don't know about the weapons, they might keep those the same, might actually have more utility. But we will be getting into the beta endings after we're wrapping things up. Before we go back to Louisiana to get our final health upgrade, there's one more thing that I need to make mention. You know that I kept questioning the quality of my disc because, you know, other than that one time that I got it to work, very early on, mind you, so we could actually enjoy Island? Well, apparently, the texture's not loading is an inherent flaw baked into the game itself. Because the game was rushed, I'm guessing for whatever reason, the textures just 90% of the time do not load. Even when I'm doing this with the loading screen, with the 2 analog sticks. I was just doing that one attempt to get it working very early on, and it loaded. Unfortunately, ever since that one time, I have never got the textures to reload, and we're just running around in a mattress land. Which is very unfortunate, because apparently this was the level that the devs actually put the most effort in. And it does make it look like it's from like an old, like, fantasy kind of realm, because of the way it looks. All the grassy hills and stuff. And I think it was really cool. Unfortunately, because of how the game was finished, this level, internally, regardless of being emulated or not, doesn't load its textures. I think there are some fixes to ISOs online, but obviously this is on actual hardware. Remember, I'm playing on a hardware-based PS3, not partial emulation, and even then, it still happens on PS2 hardware. So, unfortunately, this is not a disc issue. This is an internal game issue, and that is really unfortunate. Again, could be easily fixed in the remaster. Despite being at the doorstep to the final boss, Nettie Stu doesn't say anything. However, she is involved in the bad ending, so we will be seeing that in a moment. Need a bit of voodoo here. There we go. So, now we actually have the last Cadeaux of the entire game, which does involve going into the 2 dead vaults. We can now max out our health.
These gifts I give to thee, O gracious Loa, O generous Loa, a spiritual trade for greater power. My life force increases.
There we are. We have full health. As well as full voodoo. We have all 100 Cadeaux in the game. And yeah, again, I had to search really the whole level, but I was checking a Neoseeker written walkthrough on where all the locations were, but I basically just went through and then cross-checked, and then I was like, oh, so those where the weapons are, and then I realised, oh wait, I already have all the Cadeaux. I literally missed them in Louisiana. Unbelievable. The very first area of the game, where I was probably the most thorough to begin with. I just forgot to go back for a weapon, as well as, you know, blow open a thing that we blew open before in the first game, which does reward you for remembering what you did before. Pretty cool. But for now, it's time to go back to Gehenna and show you the new scenes and talk about it while I die.
Welcome, Michael.
Asmodeus.
I must say you look very attractive in your armor. It seems a crime to shatter such a vision of loveliness. But shatter it I must. It is, after all, our destiny.
It's my destiny too.
Diaketh, what are you calling yourself now? Deacon, is it? Quite a welcoming party.
I'm afraid that Morteth, Babayagoth, Fardaroth, Ogotherael, and Djinn couldn't make it.
And what of Sammael? Where is he whom I love the most?
I'll see you in hell, asshole!
And Legion? Did he join with you? Or did his madness extend to even greater heights than your own?
You'd be better off asking Mikhail about Legion.
I've read my prophecy, and Legion shall take the dark souls unto him. Well, here they are.
My God, the lad's got a bloody done it!
It was he who put an end to that Grigori's particular brand of madness.
Such flippancy in the face of your imminent destruction would warm the heart. If I had one, that is. And now the time is at hand. The star is ascendant, and with the opening of the seventh seal, my release was inevitable, as is the prophesied Armageddon.
Step aside, Mikhail. This is my battle now.
Oh my god.
The moment when I could finally confront the rebel Asmodeus. The time is at hand.
Shit, Deacon, you could have told me.
His true name is Diaketh. He is a Grigori Malakim, a demon by any other name, formerly one of my foot soldiers. Before his treachery, a treachery that extends for millennia.
Mikhail, you wear the armor of angels, and as such are the natural heir of the original Archangel Mikhail, who once fought the dragon Asmodeus and defeated him. It is my task to carry on the fight, not yours.
Let the battle commence!
The time really is at hand, Diakath. Behold! So be it.
Passes from one god to another. Finish it.
Oh dear. May he rest in pieces.
You bastard!
And there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp.
Hell!
And the name of the star is called Wormwood.
Oh shit.
And there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the mist of heaven, saying in a loud voice, Woe! Woe! Woe to the inhabitants of the earth! Woe is to you!
So yeah, that, whoa, could you back off? Literally on top of me as soon as we load in. Yeah, so that scene was a lot more extended than it was before. Because in the original, it literally was like, Mikhail, Asmodeus, and then Deacon just shows up like, it's my destiny too, as an angel. It's like, you missed so much there, except for the explanation that Deacon himself is like a lower Grigori originally, and makes you wonder, since Asmodeus also mentioned that Legion fled, maybe Legion's plan to take the Dark Souls and power himself up was so that he could be in charge? Okay, I don't know what that did for me. Nothing but voodoo. We're going to pound again, and we're dead. Oh no, I lived! Woo! But yeah, so maybe Legion's on the same level as Deacon? And apparently he was a Grigori as well, but maybe not a Sephiroth. We don't know. Maybe he became a Sephiroth with the power of the Dark Souls that he did get. And that was probably why that he was trying to stage that, and then this happened shortly after. It's all related and connected, which makes it more related to a sequel, just by trying to tie in Legion. Oh, he's gone on the ceiling, actually, okay. Yeah, I was just kind of running around so I could explain before I die, because we are going to be ending on the final scene. Also, I probably spliced in some of the original footage from... you know, the original, I say the original, the cutscene that was kept. Mainly because, you know, the models spaz out. You can see the originals, or the beta originals at least, on Carrot 250's channel. And I just noticed about max health. Can you haven't actually done your explosive pound yet, my boy. Do you want to do that or something? He's actually still getting hit. I want you to actually hit me. This is the longest I have lived, and you're not hitting me. What are you doing, my guy? Okay, all my health all of a sudden. I wasn't getting hit.
Better luck next time, Mikhail. There, Mikhail. Oh, you tried your best. Sadly, your best wasn't good enough. The time is now at hand for you to
man! Oh, God!
By this was the third part of mankind killed. By the fire and by the smoke